Hi, my name is Pastor Miguel Angel Castillo, and I give God thanks for bringing to us praying Pelican missions to provide us with teams to help us in the construction of the church.
We have grown from 5 members to now well over 50 members. And that all occurred because of our relationship with Praying Pelican Missions.
This project is a 2-bedroom house. This is to help a family of 6. When a hurricane came, the walls flew away. Now we're trying to get this type of housing to help them.
And so the result of these partnerships, they're ongoing, they're effective, and so that is the opportunity that we are offering you and your congregation to join in with us, that as you were to partner with us, you would be able to be a part of fulfilling the Great Commission. Your congregation will be built up, the local congregation will be built up and encouraged, and so the opportunities are endless.
What if your missions trip was part of a larger mission to reach the whole country in which you serve? What if your ministry site was determined by local pastors identifying the neediest parts of the country? What if your missions trip partnered with local pastors, local churches, and their ongoing ministries, empowering them for maximum impact from your short-term trip? What if your missions trip was not only designed around the local community's needs, but also around your group's gifts, passions, and skills? What if your missions trip was designed around the ministries that best fit your group? What if your missions trip was not only service-oriented, but also relationally driven? What if your missions trip was designed to meet your group's goals, at the same time training up your group members so that they can have maximum impact in a culturally sensitive way? What if your missions trip had the opportunity to partner on a long-term basis with the church and the community you serve in? What if each member of your team grew in their faith and came back to their community and your church with a stronger and deeper desire to serve that community? At Praying Pelican Missions, we provide this trip in a Christ-centered way. In the Bible, in the book of Matthew, Jesus issues a command, a commission, the Great Commission, to go into the world and preach the good news to all nations. We are to be missionaries to go. On your Praying Pelican Missions trip, you can be sure that your team will be partnered with local pastors, local churches, and their ongoing ministries. Also, your trip will be part of a larger trip, a larger mission to reach out into the whole country that you'll serve.
When teams like yourself come to Belize to partner with a church, I've seen pastors' lives transform. I've seen churches grow in a week that's been struggling for years to grow.
Here, being able to speak English and being able to interact with the people and having your students interact personally with the people has had such a huge return and has been one of the most important factors for our students and their lives being touched because of the relationships they've been able to build with the people.
The things that we were able to bring here and the things that we brought back from us from the people were just amazing.
In 1 Corinthians 12, Jesus teaches us that every member of the body is valuable and has spiritual gifts. Then in 1 Corinthians 14, Christ says, since you are eager to have spiritual gifts, try to excel in gifts that will build up the church.
On a Praying Pelican Missions trip, you choose the ministries you'll excel at. The ministries you select will then help determine which community your group will serve in during your trip. This will allow us, as Christ teaches in 1 Corinthians, to use everyone's gifts to build up the church.
My 2 younger children, one who's a senior and one who's an 8th grader, came down with us, and I can say truthfully that this trip has been a life-changing event for all of us. It's been a life-changing event for, I'm sure, a lot of the people that are on this mission trip.
My husband and I brought 8 girls with us. We had a wonderful time. We had many, many ministry opportunities, which was something that we really wanted. I didn't want to just bring the kids on a mission trip and have them just sort of experience it from afar. I wanted them to get involved, to really be able to experience the culture. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time and had a great experience.
I was in your shoes only about 8 months ago when I came down here on my missions trip through my church, and it moved me so much on my trip that I'm a Praying Pelican staff member. So it's definitely changed my life. And Belize is just an amazing, amazing country with even more amazing people.
In Matthew 14, after Jesus feeds the 5,000, he sends his disciples out in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. During the night, Jesus walks out on the water towards them. The disciples, seeing Jesus on the water, become frightened. But Jesus says, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." Then Peter says, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to walk out on the water towards you." Jesus, taking hold of this opportunity to strengthen and deepen Peter's faith, says, "Come." Then Peter gets out of the boat and walks towards Jesus on the water.
When we step out of the boat, out of our comfort zone, to serve on a Praying Pelican missions trip, we will see God provide in amazing ways. Your mission trip will have lasting, eternal impact for everyone involved. Each person in your group and those you minister to will never be the same through your decision to step out of the boat.
We did a women's Bible study, and the women there just welcomed us to them. In fact, we prayed with them, and instead of shying away, they hungered for it and came to us. They brought their children. They sat there with their Bibles in their hands and hungered for it. It was just an amazing, amazing experience.
You could tell that it went from just coming down and meeting people to actually coming down and growing relationships within a matter of 6-7 days, that there was a bond, and it was like they were friends forever. And it was neat to see how that bond was carried and grew from being complete strangers to now, I guess, almost friends forever, that they know that if they don't see each other here on earth, that they'll see each other in heaven again.
Throughout his life in ministry, Paul was committed to long-term relationships with the churches he started. He would take missionary journeys to visit and revisit these churches. He would write letters of encouragement as well as pray for those churches.
Praying Pelican Missions has the same biblical focus of encouraging our groups to have long-term church partnerships.
Every Praying Pelican missions trip is relationally based. Each group has the opportunity to serve in an English-speaking country. Praying Pelican missions staff intentionally builds relationships with your group and team. So as you and your group decide to step out of the boat and obey the call to serve on short-term missions, we invite you to sign up today for a Praying Pelican missions trip. It is our prayer that through your commitment of sharing Christ with the world, your group members' lives and the lives of the nationals you minister to will never be the same. Praise be to God.